Hey guys, welcome to another video. So I have made a mistake. In this video, this whole intro, I didn't have my audio linked up to OBS. um, so I'm recording this intro as a voiceover. Anyway, I was talking about my dog in this and that I'd done some renovations to the house, so you can clearly see they've got an island, the dog has a bed, we've got some carpets, just the regular thing. And that I changed like smokers around and organised my chests for once because they were a mess. A big mess. So I took them and organised them, and then I was taking some bits for a build we're working on today. So maybe you can guess before I announce it, which is super exciting. So I was just looking through for things that I needed, showing you that I'd organised everything, and that I'd managed to get some axolotls from a lush cave recently. So I've got every single colour apart from blue. Blue is really rare. Maybe we'll have to breed them up in the future. But yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, see if you can take any guesses, because I'm currently collecting things for my build. And as we come out and around the house, you may see a little spoiler, but we'll get on to that. Also, if you are wondering what this cobblestone box at the side of my house is, in there is something I found between a lovely zombie villager who always hits me as I do that, but it's a librarian, so I'm excited about that because then we can start trading and maybe get mending in the future. So that's exciting because I do want to eventually get on to making a village trading hall at some point soon-ish. But also, our storage room is still looking extra pretty. The vines are starting to grow, which is super exciting. I honestly love how this came out in the last episode, although I do always get stuck on the sides of things. And then I was just showing you that I added in the bits behind the oars. The other ones are spare at the moment, that's why they're empty. But like I've added in their oars and things like that to look nicer behind them, so it's not just a blank wall with a double chest. I've changed them to 2 singles. And then nothing else in the storage room has really changed, other than the random grass blocks that you see around, because Endermen keep coming into the storage room and dropping them. And I keep saying I should probably turn it off, but then it would probably affect the sheep. I don't really know, because I know that you can change it so that mobs can't interfere, but I don't know whether that would change the sheep as well. Someone will have to let me know. But anyway, I then added this whole pathway, so from the house over there. Oh, and then I was showing you I have a cyan sheep. That's where I got the cyan wool from. Anyway, I extended the path between episodes and then made a little bridge, which honestly fits with the whole vibe of the place and the colour scheme. I added copper. It was originally just spruce, but I wanted it to fit in with our house and other buildings around it, so I added the copper as well so it wouldn't look as flat. Same reason why I added vines and leaves, which is why I then added them to the roof of the house, just so everything kind of blends and you can see they're the same sort of area. And then I also did a similar thing to the quarry over there with the path in. I've just integrated some of the path blocks into the bridge blocks into the path on either end so that it just looks better. And then I've extended the pathways, so in that big area is going to be a barn. All the pathways then connect all of the crops and up to a windmill, because if you haven't guessed yet, we're doing farming today, or if you can't tell by the title. So I made a well for our water gathering because there's a lot of crops, we probably need that. But I thought it would be cute in this little area. And then up through the mountain, we have a big long path that then connects to the very, very top of the hill next to the cherry blossoms, where I have another flat area, which I can probably repair some of it because there's a cliff right here that goes down, but we'll worry about that later. And then here's where the windmills sit. I've got all the materials that I need, and I think it'll look pretty good. But if you can see all these flat areas I'm walking past and that I'm going to point to in a second, there's going to be crops all over here. And like I said, in that big area at the bottom, there's going to be a barn. So I'm excited to get into it with you guys, plant all these crops, get all these buildings in. So we may as well get going. Unfortunately, you have more voice over me because I forgot to record audio for this clip too. But here I was just showing you that I gathered like my bed and a couple more materials that I'd forgotten, because I always forget materials. If you know me, I'm always running out of materials, forgetting materials, or just completely disregarding them until last minute when I have to go gather them. But if you want to see me gather materials, by the way, in future, let me know. I know I don't include them in these videos just to make them shorter and so they're more interesting for you guys. But if it's interesting for you to see material gathering montages, then let me know. I would love to hear it. But here we're planting crop farms. I have oak leaves as the base, and I'm just going to create like organic shapes. Basically, I'm just planting them down. Any order, any sort of direction I've not decided on. I just didn't want them touching too much of the sides of things. So you might see me going in and recorrecting it because I actually didn't like the way it touched the mountainside for whatever reason. So again, I literally just made it whatever shape that came to mind, that sort of came in with the contours of the land, if that makes sense. So this feels quite a big field that I'm making, just because I ended up making a really big flat area somehow, which took a lot of time to terraform, but I'm glad I did it, to be fair. If you see me back and forth and during this process looking around, it's just me measuring it up. And then here I decided that's probably big enough, so we should probably just make a center point. So that's what I was doing. And I managed to make this big field, which honestly, I have no idea how. And then I decided to do the water sourcing, which basically, I don't know how it works in the game. I've just done it as 4 blocks every direction. I think you can technically do more than that. I've heard people say 9, but I have no idea. So I just counted 4 blocks, did a water source, then put a top slab over it so that it's covered with a lantern on so it keeps it light, and then just repeated that process over until the field was full. After doing all of that, this is before the moment I realised that my audio hasn't been recording this entire time. So here's the moment I figured it out. Guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't click record on my audio for the whole intro and planting section. So you're gonna have a voiceover intro and planting section. I'm sorry. Anyway, I time-lapse the rest of the fields, so enjoy! Anyway, I then went on to build a barn. So let's get to it. I can't take all of the credit for this build. I got the tutorial by Zapixel for this barn. So here I am just building the barn, following the tutorial, making sure that I got all the dimensions correct, although you will see me change things around a couple of times, like this roof, because I accidentally set it too far back. But it's fine, we fixed it. It was a simple fix. I realised once I actually started to put the deep slate tiles on, but again, it's fine, don't worry. But I love this build. I genuinely found the tutorial to be quite informative and easy to follow, which I like about them. I wasn't sure exactly how to get the roof shape and things like that. That's why I ended up with the barn tutorial. So I just kept it going. And then there's also silo aspect, which I actually enjoyed building, which took me a while to do because I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to texture it. Obviously it's brick and granite, but I wasn't sure in like what areas to add the granite, if it would look too cluttered, if it would look not cluttered enough. So there's that, but we managed it in the end and ended up building it up high enough, adding in the aspects we needed it to. So I think it came out looking really good, to be honest. I was just surprised at how close to the barn I ended up building it, but we're good. The whole roof went on, everything was fine. We started doing the interior, which basically just meant me repairing the roof, adding in beams, making sure it was well lit up enough, adding in details, of course, stairs, more lighting, and the animal pens. So then it was just exterior details, which went in absolutely fine. And that was the whole build, apart from the fencing on the outside, which I then went and did afterwards. I'm back. I did some bits off camera just to finish off the build. Yeah, I finished off the build. I added some leaves in to make it whimsical. And then we did this site area, which is just path blocks and granite and grass. I haven't put anything in here, but we have plans. Same with in here. I literally haven't added anything. I need to add animals in. I hear him, but I don't see him. Anyway, what I was talking about was my lovely friends over here. Yay! He gave me a gift. We finished? Lovely. They kept coming around and picking up blocks and then placing them down, so it was annoying me, so I may or may not have stuck a few in a bow. So that's my second enderpearl today. I'm gonna actually do a bit of farming because now my potatoes and my plants are growing. We can actually fill the farm up. Whilst I'm planting things, I do go on to talk about plans of the silo for context. I'm going to create like an underground section where we have farms. I'm going to have like a steak farm and also a sheep farm eventually, but we need to go to the nether for that. So we may take a quick trip to the nether. I have 12 pieces of obsidian I've learned from ruined nether portals, and so I think we should have enough for a portal if I remember right. I can take a quick trip there for quartz, come back out because I want to do an actual episode of us exploring the nether. So it's the next day. I hopped onto here for like an hour or two, literally just to start off what we were doing and figure out the plan. So in the 2 hours whilst I was doing that, I've expanded the path and made a pond. Don't ask, there was a random clear space. So yeah, there's now paths so that we can get in and out around here, and it's all connected and lovely. We need to go and get material for an observer, which I'm sure you all know what that means. It's time to go to the nether. Yep, you heard that right, the nether. I am terrified of mining, I'm terrified of the nether. We may as well face our fears. There we go. Oh, we have 14 now. I forgot how much we had, to be honest, because I've just been collecting them. Anyway, we've got a diamond, and now we need a piece of iron. I might also grab some dirt. Let's just grab a couple of stacks. Ideally, I would have a fire resistance potion, but it's fine. Now we just need some gold armor, which I'm pretty certain I have at home. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to temporarily put the portal up there. I have an idea for what structure I want it to go in, but I am not 100% certain. So for now, it can be a temporary one. We have one with respiration, but a bit annoying. But it's fine. Let's leave my iron one in here. I think that's everything we'll need for the nether right now. Other than like a couple of tools. There we go. Ta-da! We have a temporary portal and a nervous to go in. Just, we need quartz. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay, where are we spawning? Okay. Not a horrendous spawn, actually. These guys should leave me alone. Good. I'm just going to get quartz then. We should hopefully be able to get enough for observers because I want basically a rainbow of sheep. Is that a brew? Not me being scared of a piglin. There's a lot of quartz down here. Let's get down here carefully. Ooh, I'm so glad that wasn't lava. Why did I do that? That's a good question. I don't know either. I have a stack and a bit of quartz, so I think that's good enough. I do have a lot of gold nuggets as well, so we should have enough for observers now. I need to mark my portal too. There we go. Oh, magma cubes. And the small versions. Hit me, I don't know. Guys, I hit level 30. I should probably go home then before I die. I'm running. I didn't mean to hurt him. I just accidentally did it and I didn't want it to start frenzy. I think we're okay. Anyway, time to go home. And of course it's night. Always night when I come in and out of places, I swear. Well, that was semi-successful. We got some magma cream, lots of gold, some quartz. But how do we make an observer? Cobblestone, redstone, and quartz. Okay. I grabbed an extra couple of stacks. Apparently there's 16. We're on 10. There we go. And off we go to actually start digging the silo area, which is technically the underground area of the barn, but I thought that would be a cool secret entrance rather than in the barn. As you can see, I've already kind of started digging down a stairwell. Basically, the idea is to make like a spiral staircase down. Also, I can see on my mini-map we're above lava. It's concerning. Hopefully, we don't run into too much of a problem then. Also, I don't know how far down to go. Like, generally, how big is the space we need? Okay, I'm gonna go into replay mode to dig out the rest of this. So as you can see, the lava wasn't actually that close to me as I thought it would be, but it was still a few blocks underneath. You can't blame me for being a bit worried. Either way, I dig out a room, which at the time I thought was big enough. I think I do end up extending this, not by much, but enough, definitely enough. And obviously collect not just lapis, but copper, which is how I end up having so much copper to fill out all these rooms, because as you can tell, it takes a lot of copper to fill them all out. So I did some digging. We have this room so far. I'm not entirely sure how big it needs to be for all the sheep to fit. I'm going to have to do some measuring, but I'm going to chuck the cow farm in here and the sheep areas around, and then I will come back to you. I'm not going to time lapse it just because I'm doing a time lapse. I'm sat there concentrating on the time lapse. I will be back once they're in and I will link the tutorials. This is the sheep farm tutorial. And this is the cow farm. So I'm back. Also, I realized I forgot to take off my gold helmet just now. I will do that after. We have completed this little bit of the build. I got carried away. So I filled in all the gaps here, added in lanterns so it wouldn't be so dark. And if you can hear the amount of mobs down here, oh, I forgot a block. There's a lot going on. I will start with this. This is my stick machine. I press this button, I just click a bunch of them to breed them and hope for the best. There's like, I think maybe like 20 or so cows in here, maybe less. We breed the cows, the babies fall down here. they grow. As you can see, I've been waiting to show you guys. So once they're grown up, we press this button. The lava kills the big cows, the baby cows stay, we get steak. And then back here, I've just added some storage. And then as you can see around the room, we have sheep. That's better. The sheep are loud. Anyway, we have the sheep farms in. Wool farm, Robin, wool farm. They are producing already. And then back here, we have barrels for overflow eventually. Back here is our dispensers that I can access. I did get every color. I don't know what I need every color for. I just thought, why not, since I'm making a sheep farm. Also, you will not believe how long it took for these copper blocks to do. But yeah, I've also added no animals to this farm. I forgot and got too busy. But there are local areas. We have leads. We can get onto yet another build for our farm area, the windmill. But I will show you that full build. I didn't show the one with the farms in it because I got very overwhelmed and then did it wrong a million times and then finally did it right and got carried away. After talking about how I was going to move on to the windmill, turns out I didn't do that and opted to go get animals instead. Okay, let's get you and you and you. I only have 3 leaves. Right, if you all die coming down this hill, I'm going to be so sad. Just stick to the path, not that path everybody else is going.
You better be joking.
Bruh. Are they coming through the gate? There we go. You go right in this pen. Lovely. I'll find you a friend. Please, I just need you to make it to my pen. Sway. This way. There we go. Right, okay. Hi, friend. I need to go home and sleep, and then we can come back and get some more animals. I might actually bring some animals from over this side. By some animals, I mean a sheep. I do want a chicken eventually. We need pigs, but I want to bring them together. Do we have another chicken? Right, I need you two. They just don't listen. Go in the pen. Okay. Wow, that was more work than I wanted. There we go. Bruh. Literally, why? Come on. Through the gates. There we go. Now we just need pigs. I did see some kind of up past my house. I just need 2 to cooperate with me and come down. In fact, there's some near here. Oh, this makes life easier. 1, 2. Okay, we just need to go and go into my little pen. Bridge is easy. Bridge is easy. Come on. There we go. You have no idea how hard it was to get those sheep and cows down there, by the way. If you were looking at this and seeing me struggling, just imagine. Bye. All my animals are now in. Also, I'm not gonna lie, this dog, its noises annoy me every time I'm in my house. I might retire him to the farm. I say retire him, he can become a farm dog. He also needs a name still. I've still not name tagged him, the poor thing. I don't have any to tag him with. Okay. Come on, friend. This is my first dog I got in the series, literally last episode. I can't do his barks. And he'll be happy at the farm. He can be like a herd duck. Oh, by the way, if you wanted to know, I was gonna call him when he had his name tag on. It was Jesse. But there is Jesse. He's in his new house. I'm about to do the windmill build. So it's gonna be another hidden build. Also with the windmill build, I am planning to do something different with it underground. I want to plant an underground farm. So obviously we've got our potato, our carrot, our beetroot and our wheat up there. But I haven't made a pumpkin or melon patch. I'm going to do that underground just because it's easier, you can automate it. And also a sugarcane farm. My windmill's going to live on top of this big hill, the tallest part of my farming district as of right now. But yes, I'm going to be doing this build. I will time-lapse it. I will probably fall off it about 6 times, but all in a day's work. Okay, so getting right into it. I started off with the base. I did use a tutorial. The tutorial was by Sweet Marble on YouTube, so I will leave a link to all these tutorials, by the way, in the description. But I think the only thing I changed about this was I changed out the terracotta for copper, just because I thought it would fit with the builds more, seeing as I've used copper on like nearly every single build in this world. So I may as well just carry that on. So I stuck with that. Other than that, I used the same colour palette as the rest and tried to just focus on the shapes, really, which was not too frustrating to do. Just sort of the roofing patterns were a bit more complicated than I wanted, and the same with the actual like spinning sections. I don't know why that took me forever. So if you do see me pausing in parts, it's just me thinking of if I've done it right or not. That's all. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good build. It's not too big, it's not too small, and I think it suits the landscape quite perfectly, especially with all the farms around it. Did you notice I put my iron helmet on again? And we built the whole windmill. Somehow I didn't fall off. Genuinely don't know how. I've run out of a lot of steak though. And we need to dig now to create a area for our farms. Okay, so I did a tiny bit of work whilst I was planning to dig this out. I think I've dug down like 20-ish blocks. Filled all of this in through the glowstone I gathered because I had to go back and forth to the nether. Put all of these stripped spruce planks in. I made 2 doorways. Okay, so through one of the doorways I started to make a cutout. This is going to be a small manual sugarcane farm. The reason I'm not doing an automatic big structure like you see on most Minecraft YouTubers videos is because truly I don't think I need that much sugarcane. I'm not going around making pumpkin pie, cake. I don't think I need that much paper, truly. And if I do, you know, it's fine. But once I'd done that, I managed to fill in sand, get in some water, which then I top slabbed over and lit the room up that way, as well as the roof eventually. And of course, added copper and stripped spruce walls like I have in nearly every structure today. If you're bored of that, I'm so sorry. And then I do fill in the roof, but it's transparent, but it's just spruce again. So that's pretty much my room done. And I'm just going to plant the sugarcane. I've just done it in rows of 5 like this. I know I could have realistically done along the back as well, but it's fine. It's a manual farm. It's not the end of the world. And then when they grow enough, we can start filling this place out, which will be good. But that is the sugarcane room done. So now we're going to move on to the melon and pumpkin farm. So I'm going to go and gather resources for that. And then you will see me dig this room out and do the farm. So I actually did this live and then I went to show it to you guys afterwards. Turns out my footage was stuck on the ending screen of my stream. So unfortunately, if you want to see the farm, you can go see the live video on my channel, which is this one on screen. And if you just want to see it completed, then just skip to the end. Okay guys, I swear there's a thunderstorm. I have no headphones on right now because I forgot and just loaded into the game. No, where's your horse gone? Where's his horse gone? Right, those 2 are fighting, that's fine. Goodbye. Right, 1. What's going on with these 2? Okay, I found him in the cave. Had to drag him out. I need to tame it. You dare. Don't fall off this edge. Owl. You dare. Come with me. Come with me. This way. First death of the series. I could cry. Okay, so I'm back. I've just cut out me dragging this thing down the mountain. It took forever. Now, hopefully, because it's tamed, it should stay. My chest plate and everything flew. Managed to get them back, but yeah, not impressed. My first death was to a creeper. I thought I'd done and I'd avoided them. Apparently not. They were out to get me, clearly. Yeah, but at least we found a zombie horse. Also, turns out the reason why it ended up down the hill was because I exited the game to then get OBS up. So then I think it glitched. So then the zombie no longer had the horse was somewhere in the mountain. Anyway, back to what I was doing. I went and waited till morning and then started to make a chicken coop, which I didn't talk about beforehand, but here is the footage. So for this one I tried out the flashback mod. I don't have much experience with it. It's a simple build, so I just left it at one angle. But I built a little chicken coop and a little fenced area. I do eventually go back and change it, which you'll see in a second. And I had visitors to my coop even whilst building. So here's the little chicken coop that I built. I managed to fix these. I added some little decor bits in. Obviously we've got the egg collection, and in here is where they'll get collected from. I will put the chickens in here eventually. But that's all the builds that I'm doing in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Also, I did add some bits between recording and then the zombie horse fiasco. Here you put stuff in the chest that you don't want, and it gets transferred down here, so it'll go into rubbish. But this is the whole farm area. I'm so happy with it. We've got our whole barn. We've got the little chicken coop back there with the pond. We've got our windmill. We've got all our crops and a bridge. There is obviously more I want to add. That is all I have time for in today's episode. I hope you enjoyed watching me build my little farming area. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like. It really helps me out. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And also, I have a Discord that I advertised in my last stream, so if you want to go ahead and join that and start the community because it is fairly new, then go ahead. And I hope to see you there or on my next video. Bye!